Hello friends, Reverend Aaron Stockwell here with the weekly update for February 17th, 2021. I wanted to take a moment to reflect on the season that our Christian siblings are entering into now, Lent and today's observance of Ash Wednesday. Talk a little bit about the services coming up for the next 6 weeks, and just talk about what else is going on in our world. As you might be aware, our Christian siblings, and also some Unitarian Universalists for that matter, today marks Ash Wednesday and the season of Lent. Now, I was raised in no religious tradition whatsoever and started going to a Unitarian Universalist church in 10th grade. So my experiences of Lent and Ash Wednesday have always been as someone who has been able to observe them from a distance, not as someone who has lived those as a practice. I was doing my second unit of clinical pastoral education at Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center in 2014. During the winter and the spring. And as part of that, the folks who were going to be covering the hospital on Wednesday of that unit were going to be observing the imposition of ashes for those patients and staff who wanted it. And there were a couple of Unitarian Universalists also in my unit. I wasn't working on Wednesdays, who had to wrestle with doing this practice. Forget how people ended up settling on it, but the thing that strikes me from the Ash Wednesday practice of having ash put on your forehead or other ways during these times of physical distancing, to me is a reminder of our death. A moment of memento mori, which I think feels morbid because it's literally the definition of morbid, but I think is a great reminder that we are all going to die at some point. And how does that reminder of that fact inform our living? So the rest of the season of Lent, I have always thought of as a season of intention setting. There are many different practices. People sign off of social media. That's more of a traditional, progressive Christian way of celebrating Lent. Other traditions abstain from meat. But it's always intention setting and a spiritual deepening. Why am I talking about it? Because I think it's always important for us to remember what our Christian siblings and other siblings, other things that our neighbors are doing. We'll talk about Passover as that comes up and other observances as well. I'm also talking about it because I am taking this as an opportunity to extend the theme and the time that I would normally talk about a theme in worship. I do organize monthly worship themes. This is helpful for my own planning because I remember early on in my preaching practice that sometimes I would want to go really deep and cover and talk about everything that I knew in a sermon. And spreading a theme over 4 weeks means you can address it from a lot of different camera angles. Right now, I am going to be talking about meaning making and paying attention over 6 weeks instead of 4 weeks. Some of the sermon titles for this week, and I'm just looking at my phone to get it up. We'll start out talking about our religious tradition's first source, which is direct experience of mystery and wonder, and how do we enter into that space? How do we exegete? How do we explore our personal experience? And we do that again in a sermon. So that first one is First Source personal. Then we'll explore the topic in further depth with a sermon on the 28th called The Poetics of the World. Then we will shift a little bit to talking about sacred stories and personal mythologies. What are the experiences that we had or the stories that we heard earlier on in our life, and how do those shape our living? We'll also talk about grief and prayer during this time of exploring the sermon series of meaning making and paying attention. From there, right now we are embarking into this really unusual time of the first anniversary of the last time I did X, or the last time you did Y. We're approaching the 1-year anniversary of shelter in place, safer at home, physical distancing, working from home, distance learning, whatever you call it. And this means a lot of feelings for a lot of people. So I want to make this space. If you want to talk about it, feel free to reach out to me. It would be a privilege to hear how you are holding up as we approach 1 year of COVID being a reality in Metro West. As part of that, on March 23rd in the evening, I forget the time exactly, the Framingham Interfaith Community Association will be organizing a COVID-19 memorial service. Still not quite sure about the details of this. I'm spearheading this effort because I think that moments of collective grief and mourning are important. So stay tuned for further details on that. Of course, our Reading Poetry as a Spiritual Practice class continues on. Thank you to all of you who have participated in it. The response has frankly been overwhelming, not at all what I expected. Although I will continue to offer the class Wednesday mornings at 9 a.m. and every other Tuesday from 7:30 to 8:30. Sign up soon. The class tends to fill up a week in advance. So be sure to sign up if that is something of interest to you. Dear ones, friends, members of First Parish, I am here. If you want to chat, reach out and we'll schedule some time. I hope you're doing well and be safe out there. Bye for now. Just wanted to add one little thing. I've recorded this several times. As you know, I served as a minister for 3 years in Texas. So I have a lot of friends on Facebook who still live there, colleagues, members of my congregation, friends. And things are tough right now, down there. Dealing with the effects of a climate-changed world and the belief that an independent power grid for the state of Texas is the best. It's clear that it's not. It's clear that climate change is real. And I know a lot of my colleagues who are incredibly competent ministers are feeling helpless. So I guess I'm just sending thoughts and prayers, because that's all I can really do at this moment, to all of my folks down in Texas. Please stay warm. Please stay safe. Stay off the roads. There isn't the equipment to treat the roads. You probably know some folks in Texas as well. Send them your love. They don't deserve to hear how we would handle it up here. There are systemic and policy issues that are playing out and making the situation even worse. Texas friends, Texas siblings, stay safe, stay warm. I think things are going to look better. This weekend it's going to be warmer, but still, stay safe.